Regarding heresy, the other day at the Republican convention, the delegates joined together in prayer to some make-believe Sikh creator god. Should we even bother voting in November? Yeah. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Yeah, this is the America that we live in, folks. I mean, if you ever thought America was a Christian nation, I don't know. I never thought it was a Christian nation. I mean, it's got a lot of Christians in it, and that was what makes it feel like a Christian nation. But it's never even founded on Christian principles. It's Enlightenment principles. It's John Locke, and the Enlightenment was the darkening of Western civilization. And so a lot of these things that came out were the inversion of the Christian monarchy and all the rest. So, I mean, anybody who's still operating on this delusion that we have a Christian nation, I don't know what to say. I'm not surprised that happened at the Republican convention, because there's a conscious decision everywhere, not just among the Republicans, to go in that direction. It's the spirit of the world. It's coming and being enforced all over the world. It's the spirit of Python is one way to describe it and understand it. The syncretism of the age, the nihilism, all of this is at work. And so, yes, that's the reality. Now, should you not vote? Well, to me, that's a different question. I think you could either not vote and your conscience, and if your conscience is bothering you, you say, I don't want to vote because this is all a sham and a charade, and I feel like I'm supporting this charade that's in front of me, and so I'm not going to vote. I mean, I can't argue with that because I think it is a charade. On the other hand, those who vote also have a basis for what they're doing. And indeed, St. Paisius the Athonite himself encouraged people to vote in Greece. And when they said, well, these people are all corrupt, he said, choose the least worse. Choose the least, problematic. And that was Greece. Now, can we apply it to America? Probably, because modern Greece is very European and it's very similar. Politicians have sold Greece down the river again and again and again in the last 25 years. There are Orthodox Christians who are in office, and there's a political party that's pretty much made up of, I think, sincere Orthodox Christians. So that's different. We don't really have that in America, but I think there's a basis to someone say, look, I'm going to vote for the least worst. And the reason I do that is at least on these issues here that this person represents well. And the other one is, far, far worse and across the board. Okay, I'm going to choose the least worst because at least I'm doing something positive, right? I'm going to make a positive statement. And I think if you, before God, say, this is why I'm doing it, Lord, I'm doing it for the sake of avoiding that consequence, which is very detrimental. And I want to support other politicians that this person who are actually legitimate. There are people on the local level who are sincere, God-fearing people who are running for office. And therefore, I'm going to vote for their sake and for others' sake, at least to stave off the more, abrupt and immediate departure into more insanity. I don't think that's a bad position to take. I don't think that's blameworthy. And I think that, when somebody said the other day, if, Trump had not gotten in 2016 and Hillary got in, this is just speculation on his part, things would have been far, far worse. We would have World War III already. We would have marched already and had, massive wars and things like that. There is a basis to that. Like, Trump didn't do any wars. I think Hillary was kind of a warmonger. I mean, whatever. There's all kinds of other things, right? There's all kinds of other things that I always forget to turn it off. There's all kinds of other things that are problematic. Trump pushed the jab. He's never repented of that. That's huge. That's hugely problematic. Nobody really talks about that. They kind of like say, well, roll their eyes and keep going. He just rammed through in the RNC the other day. He rammed through a platform that doesn't sound too Orthodox or too pro-life to me. But anyway, it doesn't sound like he's really interested in pro-life at all anymore. He's playing politics a little bit. I don't know. And then, there's other things that he does and says. The whole LGBT is zealot for that. Let's not get deluded and think like, because he's good here, there, and there, and people hate him in the deep state, therefore he represents orthodoxy. God forbid, don't fall into that delusion. So you need to have discernment. You have to understand the limits of these people. Don't put your hope in any human being. Don't put your hope in any system. Keep a very good tension in your life. Always looking to Christ. Always having skepticism toward politicians and political systems. Don't have any desire, any delusion to think we're going to bring back any kind of idyllic America. That's not going to happen. We're marching to World War III, no matter who's elected. We're marching toward probably other terrible things, because it's not about one man at the top. He's not a magician. He's not a monarch. He's not going to change everything, right? So let's keep it in context and proportion, and don't have great expectations. Doesn't mean you don't do the good things. I mean, for themselves, you do that, right? You fight in and of it for the good, right? You don't have to figure out the consequences and every time. You're not responsible for overturning everything and everywhere, right? Just focus and say, I'm doing this good thing for this good reason at this time. That's it. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to have the answers of the whole system. You don't have to judge every person, and Trump is this and the other person is that. You don't have to do that. You can say, I'm going to take that one step. I'm going to do this one thing because I think it's going to help that person. In spite of it all, that's what I'm going to do. I think that's probably where we need to stay, and because we want to also be careful not to become deluded and utopian, right? We're going to we're going to take the culture back. We're going to take America back, all this kind of stuff. Okay. It's slogans, it's politics. Great. More power to you, but it's far, far, deeper than that. The ship sailed a long time ago, not just for America, but Western civilization. I mean, so it's going to be, whatever it is, it's going to be short-lived. And and including the whole return to orthodoxy, there's going to be an immense return to orthodoxy, according to the saints. There's going to be a mission to the world. It's true. It's not going to be long-lived. It's not going to be like the next, 1,000 years or something. It's going to be short-lived, whatever it is. So let's be sober-minded and stay in that context, I think.